The news about Martell Holt possibly facing jail time has taken fans by complete surprise, and the reaction from Melody Shari has only added more fuel to the conversation. At 39, Melody is standing strong in her own lane, building her career, focusing on her family, and moving forward with her life, yet her name is once again being pulled into Martell's drama because of their long and complicated history together. People everywhere are asking what she thinks about the situation, how she feels about Martell possibly dealing with legal trouble, and whether her response shows a sense of relief, satisfaction, or even concern. Martell has always been one of the most talked about cast members from Love and Marriage, Huntsville. From the very start of the show, he has been right at the center of the biggest arguments, the most explosive scenes, and the messiest storylines. Some fans would even say that without Martell's drama, the show wouldn't be as entertaining as it has been over the years. But while reality TV thrives on conflict and scandal, what we are hearing now about Martell is far more serious. This isn't just about arguments on camera or messy breakups. According to multiple reports circulating online, Martell might actually be facing real legal trouble that could land him behind bars. For many fans, this news didn't come as a total shock. Martell's name has been tied to controversies for years. His affair and the public breakup with Melody already made headlines and defined his reputation for a long time. Add in financial struggles, business disputes, and his sometimes aggressive behavior both on and off the show, and people began to see him as someone who could eventually find himself in real trouble. Still, hearing whispers of possible jail time feels like a major turning point, not only for Martell but for the future of the show and everyone connected to him. The rumors began to swirl when online sources suggested that Martell's financial situation may not be as stable as he presents it to be. Some reports mention contract disputes, unsettled debts, and failed business deals that might have put him in hot water legally. Others pointed to child support obligations, which have been a sensitive topic ever since his split with Melody. After all, he not only shares children with Melody but also fathered a child outside of their marriage, adding even more financial responsibility. Fans started connecting the dots and speculating that his inability to meet all of these obligations might be at the root of the jail time rumors. It's important to point out that so far, no official documents or court records have been released confirming that Martell is heading to jail. What we're seeing is a mixture of speculation, insider claims, and reports from credible blogs that suggest something is definitely happening behind the scenes. But in the world of reality TV, where every move is watched and every rumor spreads like wildfire, even whispers can quickly become the main topic of discussion. Naturally, as soon as the news started making waves, fans turned their attention to Melody. After everything she's been through with Martell, the betrayal, the public humiliation, the painful divorce, people wanted to know what she would say about this shocking development. Would she laugh? Would she gloat? Would she stay silent? Or would she take the high road and keep things classy, as she often tries to do? Melody didn't immediately release a statement, but what she did do was even more powerful. Instead of calling out Martell by name, she used her social media platforms to drop cryptic but pointed messages that her fans immediately connected to his situation. One of the posts she shared read something like, "When you plant seeds of chaos, don't be surprised when you can't control the harvest." It didn't mention Martell, but everyone knew exactly who she was referring to. This type of response is very typical for Melody. Throughout her journey, she has often used inspirational yet subtle messages to express herself without directly feeding into the drama. It allows her to speak her truth while still maintaining her dignity and control. And it clearly works, because fans immediately flooded her comments with messages of support, saying they knew she was talking about Martell and praising her for keeping things classy while still making her point loud and clear. In a live session with fans, Melody also spoke about accountability. She said something along the lines of, "You can't keep playing the victim when you've been the one causing the pain. At some point, life catches up with you." Again, she didn't name Martell directly, but the timing of those words, paired with the reports of his possible legal troubles, made it obvious who she was addressing. The reaction to Melody's words was overwhelming. Her supporters saw it as the ultimate clapback, proof that she has moved past the pain he caused her and is now watching the universe deliver justice. Many fans even called it poetic justice, pointing out how Martell once embarrassed her on national television, and now, years later, she has rebuilt her life while he could be facing jail time. To them, this was a reminder that life has a way of balancing things out. Of course, not everyone saw it that way. Some critics argued that even though Melody didn't name him, her posts still fueled the fire and kept the drama alive. They suggested that maybe she should just stay silent and let Martell deal with his problems without her commentary, even if it's indirect. But the majority of fans defended her, saying that after everything she has endured, she has every right to speak her truth in whatever way she chooses. Martell, on the other hand, has been unusually quiet since these reports surfaced. Normally, he is quick to defend himself on social media, respond to critics, or post something controversial that stirs up even more attention. This time, however, his silence has been noticeable. Some insiders claim that his behavior, cryptic posts, fewer public appearances, and defensive comments when pressed about certain topics could be a sign that he knows more than he is letting on. His silence has only made fans believe the rumors even more. Another interesting point here is that Melody might actually know more about Martell's situation than the public does. They share children together, and co-parenting often requires transparency, especially when it comes to financial responsibilities. If Martell has been struggling to keep up with obligations, Melody may already be aware of those struggles. So when she shares posts about accountability and chaos catching up with you, it could be more than just shade. It could be her way of saying, "I saw this coming." The public's reaction to the possibility of Martell facing jail time has been divided. On one side, many of Melody's supporters feel that this is karma, a direct result of the pain and betrayal he caused not only her but also his family. They believe he's finally facing the consequences of his choices, and they don't feel sorry for him. These fans point to his years of reckless behavior, his refusal to take accountability, and his constant conflicts with others as proof that this outcome was bound to happen sooner or later. On the other side, there are fans who believe jail time may be too extreme. While they acknowledge that Martell has made many mistakes, they argue that as a father, his children would suffer the most if he ended up behind bars. Some also caution against believing rumors without verified facts, pointing out that reality TV stars are often targeted with exaggerated stories that may not always turn out to be true. Then there are the neutral fans who aren't rooting for or against him but see this situation as part of a larger pattern with reality TV stars. They note how fame, business ventures, and personal choices often collide, creating a perfect storm that leads to legal troubles. To them, this isn't just about Martell, but about the bigger picture of what happens when reality stars struggle to balance their public image with their private responsibilities. Inside Huntsville, the reactions have been just as strong. Some locals feel that Martell and Melody's presence on the show has brought both good and bad attention to their city. On one hand, it has put Huntsville in the spotlight, showcasing its people and opportunities. On the other, scandals like this one overshadow the positive aspects and create a more negative reputation. Social media, as always, has amplified every angle. Some fans are making memes and turning the situation into a joke. Others are writing long posts about accountability, responsibility, and the consequences of poor choices. The conversation has even gone beyond love and marriage, Huntsville fan groups, and spilled into larger gossip spaces where people who don't even watch the show now have opinions about Martell and Melody, and that leads to the bigger question: what does this mean for Martell's future, both on the show and in real life? If the reports of possible jail time turn out to be true, it could drastically change his storyline. Reality TV thrives on drama, but when the drama turns into real-life legal consequences, networks have to step in and make decisions. Some fans wonder if this could mean the end of Martell's presence on the show. Others believe it could actually make him even more central to the storyline, since controversy always brings ratings. What we do know is that Melody's reaction has shaped the way fans view this situation. Her decision to respond with class, indirect messages, and words about accountability has positioned her as the one who overcame, the one who rose above, and the one who is now watching the tables turn. Whether or not Martell actually faces jail time, his image has already taken another hit, while Melody's continues to grow stronger.